Matt Hancock appeared on Good Morning Britain on Wednesday morning to respond to the news the vaccine made in partnership with Oxford University and AstraZeneca has been approved for use from January 4. However, the health secretary was accused by host Sean Fletcher of ignoring him in the past over the issue of mental health. Health Secretary Matt Hancock was full of smiles this morning as he was on hand to answer the probes of Good Morning Britain's hosting duo, Sean Fletcher and Charlotte Hawkins, after the news emerged a second vaccine would be rolled out imminently across the UK. With the pair full of questions for Mr. Hancock, Fletcher reminded the guest later on in the interview he had previously ignored him when he had been involved in a campaign surrounding children's mental health, which the health secretary quickly denied. This morning, it was revealed the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine had been approved by the UK government. The news was met with relief from those all across the UK as the health secretary promised on BBC Breakfast, "I can now say with confidence, we can vaccinate everyone." Later on, Mr. Hancock joined hosts Charlotte Hawkins and Sean Fletcher on Good Morning Britain to go over what this would mean in terms of the coronavirus crisis coming to an end. Keen to cover every base, Fletcher probed Mr. Hancock about the issue of declining mental health. After many people have now spent months apart from families and friends, Fletcher went on to accuse Mr. Hancock of ignoring him on the issue in the past. Fletcher asked the health secretary, "Mr. Hancock, I'm just wondering where mental health comes into this." He went on to note how lockdowns and the recently implemented tier systems had affected a lot of people's mental health. The host continued, "Dr. Adrian James, president of the Royal College of Psychiatrists, says, we are facing the biggest mental health crisis since the Second World War." The presenter went on to recall a previous campaign he had been involved with, where he had contacted the health secretary, but he did not respond. He said, "A couple of years ago we were in contact when I did a program looking at the children and adolescent mental health services, CAMS, and how they are underfunded and overstretched, and you ignored me. So what are you doing to protect the mental health for the nation, which is inevitably going to struggle?" But the guest hit back, "On the contrary, I didn't ignore you at all." Fletcher interjected, "No, you tweeted, 'We need to do more,' but you're the health secretary, you need to do more, so what are you doing?" probed the host. Mr. Hancock responded, "Yeah, so we have been doing, absolutely, it's a really, really important challenge. Firstly, the number of people who have been held in secure inpatient units, we have managed to significantly reduce over time, since we have had that discussion. The health secretary promised more funding was being put into supporting people in the community as well as into those struggling with anxiety and depression. It came after Fletcher had probed the health secretary on why the vaccine wasn't able to be rolled out straight away, instead of waiting until January 4. Mr. Hancock explained, "We have to spend a couple of days ensuring training is put in place. We have to physically put vaccine out into hospitals and GP centers. We've got to physically move it around.